Okay. It is 10:15 a.m., the 5th of May, 2020, as I'm recording this. I feel like I need to make kind of a, kind of follow-up to the last video I did, about Raytana's Twitter. I'm not putting up screenshots or having background music this time. This is a little bit more serious. I just, I feel deflated after the last video I made, because of one thing that I talked about in it. When I talked about her breakdown, Raytana's breakdown on Twitter, I was really nasty about it for no real reason. It was uncalled for, the way that I talked about her breakdown. And I wanted to make a video kind of talking about that. So, in that video, I talked about how some people were talking about how she faked it or played it up. Now that I'm thinking about it, the likelihood of that being the case is probably really low. I guess in that video, I was just like, I was so caught up in how mean Ray was being, and I was caught up in just the general thing that I was talking about, so I didn't really stop to think about why she would be acting that way. I already knew before I uploaded the video that her rat passed away. I knew that already, but that's about all that I thought about. So I took some time. I read through Raytana's most recent tweets on her Twitter, and I, kind of cleared my mind a little bit, and I wanted to make kind of a follow-up to that. So, like I said, I'm not putting up any screenshots or anything this time. I'm just going to read through her Twitter. I will try to read them in the best chronological order that I can. So, yeah, here we go. So, Raytana came back. The first thing she said was 11 hours ago, actually. She said she was replying to Joseph Smith, Kara, and somebody else named Jenny Lynn. She said, "Now that I'm not having a mental breakdown, I can calmly reply to you. I do not know who you are. If you followed me for years, you wouldn't be surprised by my opinion of the human race. I've always shown my true colors. You just chose to see me in black and white." Now, obviously what she's talking about is, I'm pretty sure what she's talking about is how she wished death on this, 104-year-old lady that got corona or something. And people were putting her down for that, as if she had never been transparent about the fact that she hates the human race, which is really funny. I never thought about that. A lot of people talked about her hating humanity as if they had never heard that from her before. And that's one of the things she's known most for, is how much she hates humanity. She's a doomer. So, not a boomer, a doomer. She's a doomer. So I'm totally cool with that reply. I get it, okay? And then after that she said, "To continue, I don't block people who disagree with me. I block people who are being rude or mean. I did not block you. Why is that scary? I had a mental breakdown that caused me to harm myself for the first time in 4 or more years, and I seriously wanted to kill myself. It's not edgy to have a personality. You're using that word the wrong way anyway. I treat people the way I want to be treated unless they throw the first stone. In the last 10 years, maybe 8, I have never willingly started shit unless I was not in control, i.e. no meds. I think you're upset that I'm not your fantasy YouTuber, perfect in every way. And yes, I wish death on people. I hate the human race. We have no right to be here, and we are ruining this planet for the other species. I am shocked you didn't know this about me. And since you aided in my mental breakdown, I can safely say that you are toxic. Yes, there are things about my personality I don't like, but I'm not going to pretend to be someone I'm not just to please losers like you. Now I'm blocking you. Have a good day." So, scrolling back down to when she said she doesn't block people who disagrees with her. She blocks people who are being rude or mean. "I did not block you. Why is that scary? I had a mental breakdown that caused me to harm myself for the first time in 4 or more years, and I seriously wanted to kill myself. This one, like, this one's kind of weird. She doesn't explain why she never blocked them. She just said she didn't and asks why that's scary. Nobody ever said that was scary. People criticized her for not blocking anybody because she should have for her mental stability. And then she just went on to talk about how it caused her to hurt herself. I don't really know what to say to that, because she doesn't explain like why she didn't block them. I don't know. And when she said in the tweet that she started with, "It's not edgy to have a personality," I guess that tweet was supposed to be like explaining that she wasn't in her right mind when she was speaking. Obviously, I think that was kind of obvious for the most part, at least. And then there was a part where she said, "I think you're upset that I'm not your fantasy YouTuber, perfect in every way." From my perspective, I can't see that being true. Not once did I see anything alluding to Kara wishing that Raytana was the perfect YouTuber. People were criticizing her for being unnecessarily hostile and going out of her way to hurt her own mental state, and being on the internet in a time where she clearly wasn't in her right mind. I don't think anybody was like, "Oh, I wish Raytana was perfect in every way." I don't see that. I don't see that at all. I don't know where she's getting that from. And the part where she says she hates the human race, "I'm shocked you didn't know that about me." Yeah, I never thought about that before. People were criticizing her for like wishing death on this old lady that recovered from corona, and I'm like, you guys act as if she doesn't make it obvious that she hates the human race. You should know this. I don't know why you're acting surprised, right? She can have her views on humanity. She can have her opinions of what should and shouldn't be done with this species. That's her thing, okay? You're very clearly not going to end up changing her mind at any point, okay? There's no point in trying to argue against that. Her wishing death on people, yeah. Maybe the majority does believe that that's wrong, but, there's nothing you can do about that. You might as well just go ahead and accept it, especially since her hating humans is one of her trademarks, technically. It's pretty much one of the things she knows about the most. In the part where she said, "You aided in my mental breakdown, I can safely say that you are toxic." Yeah, I think Kara, at least, I think she acknowledged that, yes, Kara may be scary, I don't know, but Kara, they went on for too long. They definitely didn't help, that's for damn sure. So I can't completely disagree with what Ray said here about them aiding in her mental breakdown. And then she continued to say, "But I'm not going to pretend to be someone I'm not just to please losers like you." I don't get what she's saying that for, or why she's saying that. Maybe I just don't get the context. I might have to look into this a little bit more soon, but yeah. Sorry about my mouse scrolling. She said a while after those tweets, she said, "Welp, looks like I was on the computer during a mental breakdown. That's always fun, right? What's even better is that I cut myself for the first time in 4 or more years. Yay, to everyone who attempted to console me, I was not in a state of mind where I could fully understand. I do know that someone was making things worse based on his comments. The attack was due to a PTSD trigger. I wish I had been aware enough to get off the fucking computer." And then she talked about her cutting again. I don't give a fuck. Okay, she's fine. I feel bad that she felt like she needed to do that, but I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm torn up over it, because I'm not. Nobody made her do that to herself. Nobody made her do that. And I'm sick and tired of her continuing to bring it up. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm focusing on other things right now, okay? Due to a PTSD trigger. I can't think of what trigger that could have been. And then she said that Jerry was put down and it added to her depression. She's putting off her diet and exercise and shit. And then the last thing she tweeted 11 hours ago was, forgot to add that I've stayed off the computer until today when I felt ready. Okay, so something that I saw a lot was that people were complaining about her not addressing the breakdown like immediately after it happened. They wanted her to say something about it super quickly, which didn't feel right to me anyway, but then I thought about it more and I'm like, you know what, that's really insensitive to just kind of expect her to bring it up immediately after it happens. Like the way I saw it, the first time I saw somebody bitch and moan, I think it was Scary. Nothing is Scary, or it was on his Nothing is Safe channel. The first time I saw him complain about her not mentioning it, I'm like, dude, she just had a mental fucking breakdown. She clearly had a mental breakdown. She probably, more than likely, just hurt herself. And you're gonna sit there and say, oh, she needs to get back on the internet immediately and respond because I'm worried about her. Yeah, okay, dude. I was really annoyed when people bitched about her not mentioning the breakdown. People need time away from the internet, especially when they have a breakdown on it, and the source of the breakdown was on it. She needed time away to clear her head and to feel a little better, and to get her head put back on straight. So, yeah, any people who are complaining about her not addressing the breakdown immediately, fuck you for saying that. I really don't think that was cool of you. But yeah, in my last video, I talked really nasty about her breakdown, and I shouldn't have. I was just caught up in talking about the things that I felt she had done wrong, and it kept me from thinking critically about the breakdown itself. And I just want to say I apologize for that. I really should have taken some more time to think about why that happened, and I should have taken some more time to wait until she said something after the breakdown. And that's what I'm doing now. I didn't plan this, really. This is basically just a ramble, like one of my normal videos. So if I say something stupid in this one, again, just tell me. I feel sick with anxiety recording this right now because I feel really bad about how I talked about her breakdown in my last video. It makes me feel really weird. And especially how I'm talking about it now. Even in the last, 10 minutes, I said a bunch of stupid shit about her, about the cutting. Like, of course I want her physical well-being to be okay. I know I talked about it as if I didn't really care. Whenever I talk about something serious like this, I just kind of spitball the first thing that comes to my head. And I know I said, like, oh, I don't care if she cuts herself. Yeah, I do. I do care. It's just she keeps bringing it up and not really addressing. Because the part that bothered me is when she said that she didn't block Kara, but she never elaborated on why she didn't block her. She just continued to talk about how she hurt herself and how she wanted to kill herself. Again, that reads very strongly as her wanting to emotionally manipulate. I'm not saying for a fact that that's what she's doing. That's how it makes me feel. That's what I'm perceiving it to be. Not once am I going to say that, oh, I think this is 100% what she's doing objectively. No, I'm not doing that. It feels like she's emotionally manipulating because I've had people emotionally manipulate me with the same shit. Okay? That's what this reminds me of. And it's not fucking cool. I'm gonna reread this tweet out so that I can, I just need to reaffirm to myself what she said. To continue, I don't block people who disagree with me. I block people who are being rude or mean. I did not block you, in parentheses, why is that scary? I had a mental breakdown that caused me to harm myself for the first time in 4 or more years, and I seriously wanted to kill myself. I'm confused with this tweet. I'm so confused with this tweet. I block people who are being rude to me. I did not block you. Why is that scary? What do you mean? Why is that scary? Nobody said it was scary that you didn't block them. I mean, it's a little concerning because if somebody's causing you emotional distress, naturally your first instinct should be to block them, especially since you tell other people to do the same fucking thing. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, Ray. And then after she says that, she goes on to continue talking about how she hurt herself and how she wanted to kill herself. I mean, maybe I am just reading too far into it. Maybe I am just taking it way too fucking seriously, okay? But it just reads to me like she's trying to... It seems like she's pushing blame for her hurting herself on people that were being mean to her, first of all. Second of all, it seems like she's trying to avert people's attention away from the fact that she didn't block people. Like, she's talking about her breakdown, like, in the hopes of distracting people from the fact that she never blocked the people that were causing her to be upset. That's what that feels like to me. And this is turning into another video criticizing her, okay? And that's not what I'm trying to do. That's not what my intention was. Basically, all I wanted to say was that, yes, she's been dealing with some really fucked up shit lately, okay? And she's used to venting outwardly about it. Obviously, venting about this shit on Twitter is very different than venting about it on YouTube or on WordPress or something. So naturally, it's going to feel different. She's dealing with things that hurt her in serious ways, and she needed to take time away from the internet to put her head back on and calm down enough to speak in a coherent way. And people like Scary that wanted to criticize her negatively for that, I'm like, please stop. Please stop. She needed to do that. It's not a bad thing to do that. There is nothing wrong with what she did. Stepping away and then coming back with a clearer head, that was a smart thing to do. And I didn't consider that when I made my last video, and this is basically, I'm sorry for that. Genuinely. I was way too harsh about it, and I shouldn't have been, okay? That's all I'm saying. This went on a lot longer than I wanted it to. If you want to have a discussion with me about it, please don't, hurl insults. Please don't be rude, okay? I'm only talking about this the way I am because I'm concerned, okay? If you want to talk to me about it in the comments or something, please do. Just please do it respectfully. If you're rude, I'm going to ignore you. I'm not going to delete your comment or block you or anything, but I will ignore you, okay? But if you want to tell me I'm wrong, or if you want to talk to me just generally about it, please don't be rude about it. That's all I ask, okay? I'm just really stressed out. This is going to turn into a really long ramble if I don't stop here, so if you have anything to say, please do it in a respectful manner. That's all I ask.